Just a heads up, this video will make a little bit more sense if you watched my last video, so if you haven't, go check it out. Welcome back, or just welcome. Today we're finally talking about the wild, wild world of Batwoman, and for reasons I think will become pretty clear, it's a very hard film to talk about. It follows the titular Batwoman and her league of crime-fighting girls tracking down the prototype of a hearing aid of all things that's been stolen by the evil Ratfink. He's figured out a way to modify the prototype to be used as a wiretapping device and also potentially a powerful explosive. Yeah, it's not very well designed. It came out in 1966, the same year that Adam West's Batman film did, and was very clearly made to cash in on it. But other than that, there's not a ton of information I can find about the wild, wild world of Batwoman. I don't know what the budget was, what the profit was, I don't know how or where it was initially released. The only factoids I was able to find about it is that it was directed by Jerry Warren, no relation to Harold P. Warren of Manos fame. DC sued them for copyright infringement and actually lost, which makes it the second time a massive company has lost a lawsuit to a terrible MST3K movie. Huh. 2 nickels. Many of the actresses in Batwoman's crime-fighting cult were real-life strippers that were literally hired off the street after the nightclub they were working in got raided. And when I was researching the film, I noticed that the actress who played Batwoman, Catherine Victor, also had credits for tons of Disney movies and shows in the 90s and early 2000s. I initially assumed it was for voice work, but no. Most of her career actually wasn't as an actress, but as a continuity checker for tons of animated productions, especially Disney's. Why are all these random B-movie actresses so cool? See, it's always worth researching these bad old movies. Even if you can't find basic information, there's always inevitably some bizarre trivia you can dig up about them. Admittedly, I'm kind of stalling because, like I said, this film is pretty hard to talk about, so I think I'm going to have to do something that I haven't done since my Mad Monster Party video, and just go through each scene point by point and break down exactly how all of this insanity unfolds. So I guess, let's go ahead and do that. So we cold open to a new recruit to Batwoman's cult of women crime fighters getting her communication bracelet. I have no idea where they are, it looks like a messy storage room. They also have a ceremonial drink for the occasion, which is blood, because they're vampires, but fake blood because they're synthetic vampires?
We're vampires, all right, but only in a synthetic sense. Drinking the real stuff went out with Count Dracula.
No, I don't know what that means, but it doesn't matter because it's never brought up again. After the credits, we see a guy getting mugged. Batwoman's girls are watching, so you'd think they're going to save him, but nope, they just watch him get shot. Then they call Batwoman with their communication bracelet and say, yeah, we just saw a robbery gone wrong. There's a body. You should probably call the police.
Batgirl 14 to Batwoman. 14 to Batwoman. Witness to hold-up, return to murder. 2 men, I have descriptions. Police should be notified.
Hard cut to a random dance party. That guy is never mentioned again. A girl at the party gets drugged and kidnapped, and it happens in a series of literally 3 shots with no dialogue. It's practically blink and you'll miss it. But they're taking her somewhere, and the other Batgirls are listening through the communication bracelet. That seems to be the main thing they do. And this guy is seemingly driving at a 90-degree zigzag back and forth. Cut to fucking Spider Noir watching them? I mean, I guess he's outside somewhere watching something, but there's no establishing shot, so I really don't know where. Then we finally see Batwoman.
Batwoman speaking. Who is this? Yes, I know. I'm picking it up on R5-2.
Oh my god. There's a lot of great things happening with this costume, but I really have to hand it to the bat drawn on the boobs. I am not creative enough to think of that design choice. I can only dream of being on their level. Don't ask me what this phone call is about because I don't know.
She's executed. Good thinking. You should alert all girls in your proximity.
Cut to evil scientist mixing chemicals in a lab. He has a comically skinny door and a mentally stunted man pet a la Fritz from Frankenstein. But this is apparently where the kidnappers were taking the woman, who is not restrained. She just kind of walks into a big cage that they put her in. And Mexican wrestler Spider Noir is still perving. I guess this lab is the building he was watching. I still don't know. I honestly have no commentary for the scene, besides it being the most uncomfortable thing I've seen in a long time.
I have no doubt that the name of G. Octavius Neon will go down in history as one of the absolute giants of civilized science. Do you like monsters?
He's groping his inner thigh. The Mexican wrestler calls on a big screen. I don't know why, because I thought he was literally physically outside right there, but I guess not. We learned his name is Ratfink, and he is the main villain, and he is paying Dr. Neon here for experiments that aren't explained yet. And he wants this girl right here because he needs the communication bracelet to talk to Batwoman.
I want you to bring me the girl's wrist radio. I intend to communicate directly with Batwoman on her own frequency. I'll line into every conversation she carries.
All of Batwoman's girls are summoned into a meeting to talk about the kidnapping, and I don't know why I thought it would be more professional. I don't, but they gather on the floor around the living room couch in their swimsuits and decide how to rescue their kidnapped member. And I am obsessed with this lady over here who wants to be anywhere else in the world besides the set of this movie.
Second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, Batwoman. Continue with business.
Ratfink interrupts them by calling on the radio and says he'll return the girl if Batwoman agrees to break into somewhere and steal something for him.
I simply need your help to enter a certain building and secure a certain item.
And just an FYI, no, I'm not being dismissive, the kidnapped girl hasn't been given a name yet.
What have you done with that girl?
Batwoman agrees surprisingly easily, but only if she gets proof of life for the girl first.
Give her another happy pill, will you? Can't stand it.
Okay, so they drug her right in front of Batwoman and she has nothing to say. The pill makes her start dancing. She's just dancing in the background of this whole scene. They call Ratfink to negotiate a deal and he tells Batwoman about an experimental hearing aid that if modified can be used as an international strength wiretapping device. And he wants Batwoman to steal it for him. I don't know why he can't do it himself. He's supposed to be a supervillain.
As I mentioned previously, I want you to get something for me that I've wanted personally for a long time. It'll be entirely within the realm of your own many splendid talents. The Ajax Development Corporation has developed an atomic hearing aid, one that with certain modifications could pick up any telephone conversation desired.
Also in this scene, Neon tries to drug Batwoman, but she switches the cup so that Neon starts dancing instead. I don't even know why. Ratfink didn't ask him to do it. And the pill doesn't even hurt you, it just makes him dance, so why did he even try to do this in the first place? But Batwoman uses the moment of chaos to escape and save the girl, whose cage was apparently not even locked. And they throw a smoke bomb down, and I don't think they know how smoke bombs work because she throws it away from them, and everyone sees her just walk out and leave. What was the point? We cut to Ajax Development Corp, the company who manufactured the hearing aid. The CEO, I guess, reveals some bad news.
I realize you've got our legal boys trying to concoct some sort of appeal for us, but I never told you this. Our time limit for destroying that device has run out.
The US government denied the patent on their hearing aid because of its destructive potential, and gave them a time limit to destroy the prototype or else they'd face serious legal punishment and essentially be considered terrorists. And that time limit has just run out. Batwoman has told them that Ratfink is trying to steal the thing, but given that they're also in serious legal trouble, they can't call the police for help. This is actually kind of interesting.
Why didn't you tell me about this sooner? What do you think I'm here for?
So like, what's their deal? But this guy is like, hey, I've got a great idea. Since Batwoman warned us about the threat, why don't we ask her for help?
Wait a minute, JB. I think I've got it. Batwoman!
And I mean, yeah. Quite frankly, why wasn't that the plan in the first place? So this guy, still don't know his name, goes to find Batwoman and ask for help, and this is one of those scenes where I can imagine how cool it must have looked in the director's head. Like, okay, imagine. He comes into the Batcave, the door mysteriously shuts behind him, and Batwoman is surrounded by her mysterious cult of beautiful women, playing the organ like a classic vampire, and there's bat iconography everywhere. But the actual set is a house in California, and it's broad daylight, and the organ is one of those dinky little Hammond organ that my grandma had in her living room, and whoever's playing it keeps messing it up, and they didn't dub it over. And there's a child's painting of a bat on the wall, and this bored girl is playing with a horseshoe! Batwoman tries to give him a drink, and he refuses, and she clearly thought the girl who handed it to her would still be there, and she looks over to hand it back, and the girl has walked off, so she just takes it and awkwardly starts drinking it herself. Okay, focus. Batwoman is actually kind of reluctant to help them because she's pretty disgusted with the device itself, and the guy assures her that that wasn't the point of it, it was just a byproduct of the technology, and at this point they just want to research it and see if it can have any practical practical uses before it's destroyed, as well as keep it protected from Ratfink. The girls in the back are still playing with the horseshoe during this important meeting, don't worry about it, and eventually Batwoman does agree to help them. We cut to Neon trying to feed his man pet Heathcliff an experimental drug to test its effects, and that's really disturbing. I don't like them. They're like Dr. Forrester and Frank if they were filthy perverts who lived in garbage. Ratfink calls and yells at them for letting the kidnapped girl get away, still no name for her by the way, and complains that it's going to be super hard to steal the hearing aid with Batwoman helping.
It's going to be more difficult than ever now because I've learned through the grapevine that Batwoman herself is guarding the vault at Ajax.
Not sure why. I don't think these guys would be much help at stealing, but that's it. That's the whole scene. Cut to this night guard fucking around with some vital records, I guess. He gets a phone call, and I was really hoping he'd answer by explaining where we are or who he is, like you would if you were working at a business, and like you would if you were in a movie wanting to give exposition. But nope.
Hello? Good evening, dear Christians.
Awesome. Thanks. Oh my god, I was wrong. They are the ones sneaking in with cups? Oh, never mind. Bye, I guess that's enough of that scene. But I guess there's one thing this movie has that 66 Batman doesn't, and that's worryingly real-looking guns of various sizes. This chick's got a double-barrel shotgun on standby. Jesus Christ. I guess they're here protecting the hearing aid from being stolen.
I hope you'll be able to relax now that you're aware of the extent of our precautions.
Oh, yes, of course I will. And besides all that, I have the only key to the vault right here in my pocket. Maybe you could do with a little bit of lunch? We can get it right downstairs.
Soup? Hot soup, girls.
Wait, now Neon's here sneaking in. I thought that was last night at a completely different location. If it wasn't there, what was the point of that scene at all? Okay, Neon gives them soup laced with the dancing drug from earlier, and they all start dancing. In silence, with very real looking guns. Please be careful. I'm assuming they're not loaded, but I feel like given the movie we're looking at, that's a very weak assumption. They spike the entire building and use the chaos to steal the key to the vault and get the hearing aid. Also, this random henchman uses their drugged states to pull this woman into a back room. I need one of these heavily armed women to please shoot him immediately. Okay, whatever. An airplane's arriving and...
how's your throat?
Well, it's actually really quiet.
Sounds much better.
Drew Carey and Henry Blake show up, apparently. Wow, Zen, what topical references. Good job. Everyone knows who they are in 2026. These guys are actually from the patent office. Remember we talked about the patent office earlier? They're here to talk to Batwoman and the CEO. And I want you to guess how this next scene goes. I'm gonna give you some options. Do they, A, get into a really sloppily done fight scene that looks way too dangerous to be doing in a movie of this caliber? B, get tricked into taking the drug again and we have a dance scene that's almost completely identical to the other one? Or C, find Batwoman and the company CEO doing a seance to ask a ghost about the hearing aid and the ghost talks in a racist faux Chinese accent? I'll give you a minute so you can pick. It's C, it's fucking C. They talk to a racist Chinese ghost. This is officially your warning to get out because it is exactly as bad as you think it's gonna be.
We call out to the world of spirits. Will someone please come through?
I am trying. Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you plainly. It is desired by those at this table to locate a missing device. One of an electronic nature. It was stolen from Mr. Christian's here only a few hours ago.
And this isn't even the stupidest part of the scene, because they contact the Chinese ghost and go, "Oh, sorry, you weren't who we meant to talk to. Isn't there another ghost there who speaks English?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, he's here." I'm paraphrasing here because you heard what he sounds like. So they wait for the racist Chinese ghost to basically pass the phone to the other ghost, and we wait. All for Batwoman to go,
"It seems we've lost communication."
So what was the point of any of that? You guys can fact check me for free. I will link this full movie in the description. It's on YouTube. I promise you, I'm not exaggerating about any of these details. We cut to Neon fumbling with some shit and the henchman with the drugged woman tied up, and Heathcliff playing with a mask on the dirty floor. This is starting to feel like that creepypasta normal porn for normal people. Other than that, literally nothing happens. Next scene. The guys from the patent office look over the CEO's last-ditch attempts to produce a safe design, and they're like, yeah, no, nice try. This thing could still cause an explosion. Also, it's a wiretapping device. If you try to build this at all, you are going to jail.
Well, there's nothing here that shows any chance of stopping an explosion.
Well, look at this. 2 separate protective stages.
Protection against what? If a little cobalt got in it, you couldn't hold it back.
Which is very bad news, because remember, they already had a prototype, and Neon just stole it. But don't worry, Batwoman is still going to find out where the lab is. Her girls are out searching the shoreline as we speak, so Ratfink goes out and kidnaps them all. One by one. By himself. I don't even care anymore. The henchman, still keeping the woman on a leash, heads down to Ratfink's lair to meet them, and on the way they see the mole people. This is footage from the mole people. They just stole footage from a completely different movie. This raises a lot of questions that never get answered because it's literally never brought up again. But I'm just preoccupied because the mole people is owned by Universal. Warner Brothers sued because of the name, but to my knowledge, Universal never even acknowledged this film. Though, kind of an interesting connection, Alan Napier was in the mole people, and he's best known for playing Alfred in Batman 1966, the movie Batwoman is ripping off. Is that interesting? It was interesting to me. Okay, I swear we're almost through this. All the bad guys are just hanging around in the lab looking at the captured girls and having completely benign, unrelated conversations.
Where's the other girl? Isn't she with you?
Tiger is locking up the place. He'll bring her right along.
What? Oh, you want this thing? All right, but don't cause any commotion.
Never mind the monsters, Neon.
But you never let me see them anymore. You're always putting me off.
Until Batwoman breaks in and frees the girls. And instead of having some grand confrontation, they just keep talking about random bullshit like before.
This boy has fallen in love. My name is Plank, Jim Plank.
Well, how would you like to try a depression pill?
It's actually Ratfink who goes like, okay, shut up, just let me kill you.
I've had enough of this drivel from all of you.
So he runs off and says,
My fabulous body divider will render things most difficult for you.
What?
I did as you requested, Batwoman. I'm still over there. And at the same time, I'm here. And look, I'm there. And there, too.
So he gives up on the hearing aid altogether, and in his last-ditch attempts to escape, he duplicates himself, and there's like 6 of him running around like a Scooby-Doo scene, and this music is the worst yet. Like, I feel like it's making me ill. This scene goes on for 2 full minutes, just like this, before they push another button and the clones go away. Cool. So in another last-ditch effort, Ratfink says he'll use the hearing aid to blow everybody up, including himself. Pretty high stakes. Want to see how they stop him?
You're a think, Ratfink.
And that's it, Ratfink.
I hate this movie, but we're still not done, because apparently this whole time, Ratfink was actually the CEO from Ajax.
You went to all this trouble to steal your own invention?
I had to do it. The patent office kept all the blueprints. I couldn't have made another model.
Okay, sure, but we established at the beginning that Ratfink has been a villain long before this heist.
Welcome to my humble facilities.
Shall we meet again?
So that doesn't make any sense. I think he just likes running around in a mask. And in all of this chaos, the hearing aid accidentally gets triggered and is about to blow up. So everyone starts running. Neon hands it to Heathcliff, kisses him, then leaves. Yeah, he exploded. Hey, okay, no. Heathcliff blew up. We saw him explode. You don't get to shake this one off, movie. They've hyped up how deadly this thing is for the whole runtime. Now, when it actually explodes, it doesn't even hurt the guy who was literally holding it. But wait, there's one more twist.
What? Professor Neon! Neon, what happened? I can't remember a thing.
Heathcliff, you've gotten your voice back.
Yes, of course, my voice. Voice? Yes. I remember now. It's coming back to me, but But it's been a long time.
Well, 14 years.
14 years?
Yeah.
I remember. We were working on an experiment. One that would bring out the personality traits of an animal. But Professor Neon, what went wrong?
I gave you some of the formula.
You gave me some of the formula? Me, your friend, your benefactor, the one who's financing your work?
Well, I didn't realize the effects would last for so long.
Yes, it is revealed that Heathcliff used to be Neon's partner and was fed an experimental animal drug that stunted his mental capacities to this point for 15 years? I know nothing in this movie is taken seriously, in case it wasn't obvious, but that's so randomly deeply dark. And the best part is, it doesn't matter in the slightest, because the movie's over! There is technically one more scene after this, but it is just another dance sequence, so it doesn't matter, though it is the one that effectively broke Tom Servo. And! Yeah, that clip was for this movie. Hopefully you see why this had to be its own video, and why it was so hard for me to talk about. Not just because it's one of the worst movies I've ever seen, though it is, it's because it's a special kind of bad. The rest of the movies I talked about in my last video could be broken down and dissected. I could pinpoint what aspects were bad and talk about them generally. Like, The Final Sacrifice was brought down mainly by its tiny budget and lack of explanation about its own premise. The Creeping Terror was bad because the monster design was incredibly sloppy and it was paced and edited so slowly. But Batwoman is different. Every second of this movie is some genuine insanity, the likes of which I have never seen before. I mean, yeah, the acting is bad, the shots are too long, and it sounds like it was recorded with an empty cracker box, but what really sets it apart is the sheer amount of bullshit coming at you at record speed. It does sort of feel like a nightmare. It's kind of dreamlike how everything technically has a reason for happening, but it doesn't really hold up if you think about it, and as soon as the scene is over, it just moves on and no one talks about it again. The mole people shit doesn't come back or mean anything. The happy drugs could honestly be cut out entirely, and the goddamn fucking racist Chinese ghost sure didn't have to be there. Watching this movie doesn't even feel like watching a movie. The whiplash is so intense, and everything feels so meaningless that I really don't know how to describe it. I called it baffling in my last video, and I really haven't been this baffled since The Abominable Bride, and that was still a very different kind of insanity. How do I end this? I really don't know. There's not some grand conclusion that I can draw from any of this, so I'll just show you some of the most inexplicable clips that jumped out to me personally.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me, Batwoman?
I could make you so happy, you wouldn't believe it possible.
Here, why don't we all sit down and make ourselves comfortable?
Taking no chances of our formulating a successful operation, but we'll do it anyway.
Would you like some refreshment?
No, thank you. I'm fine. Very nice of you to see me this way, Batwoman.
Now, if you're going to give me a lift to the hotel, I'll do so. Otherwise, I'm calling a cab.
But, Mr. Seltzer. Oh, very well, I'll drive you to the hotel. Perhaps I can convince you along the way.
You have a perfectly beautiful, beautiful collection.
I've had enough of this drivel from all of you.